Okay, so somewhere on Earth right now, there's a 65,000-year-old mistake sitting in the dirt that literally should not exist. Stone tools. On an island that has never, not once, not ever, touched the mainland. Which means someone crossed open ocean to get there. On purpose. No boat survives. No map exists. They had zero proof there was even land on the other side. And they went anyway. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you are never complaining about a delayed flight again. Here's the deal. For 300,000 years, there was one law humans could not break. If you couldn't walk there, you didn't go there. No cars, no horses, no wheels. Just your legs, and whatever your legs could survive. That one law decided who you married, what you ate, whether you ever met a single human being outside your own valley. And somehow, humans broke that law. Not once. 4 separate times. And every single time, it should not have worked. First wall, distance. You've got 2 feet. That's it. A cheetah smokes you in a sprint.
First wall.
A horse smokes you over a mile. But give a human 20 miles and a full day, then another 20 tomorrow, and another the day after.
Horse.
Nothing else on this planet keeps up. Nothing. Your feet have actual springs built in. Your Achilles tendon stores energy and hands it back to you with every single step. There's a ligament running up the back of your neck whose entire job is keeping your head locked steady while your legs do all the work. Chimps don't even have that ligament. You do. You were never built to win the race. You were built to never stop running it. And there's proof. Actual footprints. 1978, Tanzania. A researcher named Mary Leakey finds 2 sets of footprints pressed into volcanic ash. 3.6 million years old. 2 people walking upright, side by side. Put that next to a footprint you left in wet sand last summer. You could not tell the difference. That's the oldest road trip photo on Earth. And it took another 3.5 million years before anyone found a second way to move. 70,000 years ago, small groups start walking out of Africa. Not one big dramatic exit. Just people pushing a little further than their parents ever did, generation after generation. Middle East, Asia, Europe, where they run straight into Neanderthals who had already been living there over 100,000 years. And listen, if your ancestry traces outside Africa, that meeting is still sitting inside your DNA. Right now. Today. They kept going. Siberia, in cold that kills an unprepared person in under an hour. Across a land bridge into Alaska. South, all the way down to the tip of Chile. 15,000 miles. No map. No idea the destination even existed. And here's the part people skip. They weren't lost. Archaeologists keep finding tools made from stone that came from hundreds of miles away. Shells, nowhere near an ocean. These people weren't wandering. They were trading. On purpose. Further than they could see, generation after generation. But walking has a ceiling. And that ceiling is water. Second wall, the ocean. For hundreds of thousands of years, a river just stopped you. Dead. No bridge, no boat, you turn around, end of story. Until someone did something no other land animal on Earth has ever pulled off. Flores Island, Indonesia. Archaeologists dig up stone tools going back 800,000 years. A number so old it might not even be our species doing the digging in. Might be an earlier human relative entirely. And Flores has never touched the mainland. Not even at the lowest sea level of the last ice age. There was always at least 12 miles of open water in the way. Someone crossed that. We don't know on what. Wood rots. Reeds fall apart. The evidence is gone. But the tools are still sitting there. Which means it happened, whether we can explain it or not. That's mystery number 1. Here's number 2, and it's worse. 65,000 years ago, humans crossed from Southeast Asia to Australia. Not 12 miles this time. Over 60 miles of open ocean, even at the lowest sea levels ever recorded, with zero visible land on the other side. You cannot drift there by accident. Someone built something that floats, pointed it at an empty horizon, and paddled toward nothing, carrying enough people and supplies to start an entire population once they landed. As far as we know, That's the first deliberate ocean voyage by any species in the history of this planet. And it gets crazier. 3,000 years ago, the Polynesians take on the biggest ocean on Earth. Double-hulled canoes, packed with food, animals, entire families, sailing thousands of miles using nothing but the stars, the shape of ocean swells, and the flight paths of birds. No compass, no map. Modern sailors have tried recreating those voyages using only that ancient method. It still works. Some of those crossings covered 2,500 miles of open nothing. No islands, no land, just ocean and stars for weeks straight. They found Hawaii, Easter Island, New Zealand. Every single scrap of habitable land in one of the emptiest stretches of ocean anywhere on Earth. Walking beat land. Boats beat water. But there was still one wall left standing, and it was brutal. Third wall. Wait. You can walk 20 miles. You cannot walk 20 miles carrying a 200-pound animal you just killed. For most of human history, the limit was never how far you could go. It was how much you could carry, and your own body starts breaking down around 40 to 60 pounds. So they cheated. First move. Drag it. Kill it. Strap it to a hide. Pull. We know this happened because ancient hides still show wear patterns that only show up from being dragged over and over across long distances. Then someone builds the travois. 2 poles, a V-shape, a platform slung between them. One person can now haul over 100 pounds. It might be one of the oldest cargo tools humans ever invented, and it barely exists in the archaeological record because it's just wood and leather. We only know about it because people were still using it, basically unchanged, when Europeans showed up in North America thousands of years later. But the real breakthrough was never a tool. It was a partnership. 15,000 years ago. The dog. First animal humans ever domesticated. Full stop. In the Arctic, 6 dogs could haul an entire family's camp across ice a human could never safely cross on foot. Dogs solved the small loads. Humans still needed something bigger. 5,500 years ago, on the steppes of Kazakhstan, a group called the Botai tamed the horse. And the proof is written directly onto the animal itself. Wear marks on horse teeth that only a bit can leave behind, and mare's milk residue baked straight into ancient pottery. These weren't people hunting horses for meat anymore. They were riding them. And that one animal broke a law that had run your entire species for 300,000 years. Walking speed, 4 miles an hour. Horse speed, 30. In a single generation, the human world got 8 times smaller. Fourth wall, speed itself. Messages that once took a week now took a day. Trade routes stretched further than any walking trader could manage in a lifetime. Warfare changed completely, because now an army on horseback could reach you before you even knew it was coming. And they didn't stop at horses. Camels crossed deserts that would kill a horse, going over a week without water while hauling 300 pounds of cargo. Llamas carried loads up Andean paths too steep and narrow for anything else. Wherever humans landed, something was already built for that ground, and they put it straight to work. One invention was still missing, and it shows up embarrassingly late. Humans crossed every ocean on Earth before anyone invented the wheel. The oldest wheel ever found is barely 5,200 years old. Boats go back at least 10,000 years, probably far longer. Horses were tamed 5,500 years ago. Humans reached Australia 65,000 years before the wheel existed at all. And it didn't even start as transportation. The first wheels spun clay into pottery. Someone turned that spinning disc on its side and asked the one question that changed everything. What if you put something on top of it? The first wheeled carts were slow, heavy, and got stuck in mud. Honestly, a horse pulling nothing was often faster than a horse pulling a cart. Then, around 2000 BC, someone invents the spoked wheel. Lighter, stronger, faster. Chariots show up, and for the first time ever, you get speed and cargo at the same time. Empires weaponized it instantly. Roads followed. Around 4000 BC. Then Persia builds a 600-mile highway with relay stations, cutting a 3-month message down to about a week. Rome builds over 50,000 miles of roads so well engineered that parts of it are still walkable today. And in the Andes, with no wheel at all, the Inca built 24,000 miles of road using llama caravans and relay runners to move messages across some of the most brutal vertical terrain on the planet. 4 walls, distance, ocean, weight, speed, and every single one got smashed by someone who had no idea it was even possible, using tools that shouldn't have worked, heading somewhere they couldn't prove existed. And now, look at you. Sitting in a metal box, doing 70, calling it a boring commute, crossing an ocean in 6 hours and complaining the Wi-Fi's slow, summoning a total stranger in a car to your exact location and getting annoyed it takes 5 minutes instead of 4. Your ancestors walked barefoot for 15,000 miles toward continents they couldn't even name. They paddled into open ocean with absolutely nothing proving land existed on the other side. They put their whole lives inside the mouth of a wild animal 10 times their size and let it decide how big their world was allowed to get. We solved distance so completely, we forgot it was ever a problem at all. Every plane, every highway, every ship on Earth exists because 300,000 years ago, someone stared at a horizon they couldn't explain and started walking toward it anyway. They didn't know where they were going. They went anyway. So next time you're stuck in traffic, complaining about 5 extra minutes, remember somebody crossed 60 miles of open ocean with zero proof there was anything on the other side, just so you could exist. If that blew your mind even a little, hit subscribe, because I'm breaking down another wall like this every single week. Smash the like button. It's the only reason this channel gets shown to more people. And drop a comment telling me which wall shocked you the most. The ocean crossing, the horse teeth, or the fact we had boats before we had wheels. I read every single one.